Well, you know, as we talked about, I was an athlete, so all I wanted was the top information, and you heard some of those top athletes earlier about just being a sponge for the latest nutrition, exercise training, physiology research I could get my hands on. But you know what? That was an egocentric, kind of all-about-me approach. It was very narrow-minded. And so what I started to find was people were asking me about advice, what I was doing to improve my performance and staying at the top. And soon it was more motivating for me to help other people. And so that really launched my career as a scientist, and I fell in love with it. Easy to. But our objective was very similar. The objective was to confirm the effectiveness of the isogenic system on things that many of you already know about: body weight, fat, and then this region right here, belly fat loss. But actually our primary interest in this study was to determine the isogenic system on healthy, lean muscle mass. That's an important one. How about metabolism? And then, of course, heart health and the body's ability to detoxify itself. I know everyone's interested in that detoxification.
Right.
Well, I've been fortunate that my research has been published in these journals, but I've also been fortunate that my research has developed new paradigms of healthy lifestyle interventions. But I have to say, in all sincerity and truthfulness, the findings that you're about to see have catapulted this one to the top of all of my previous peer-reviewed science publications. Weight loss occurs all over our body. I usually use this word. It doesn't discriminate. When you lose weight, it usually does not discriminate where you lose the weight from. And so you'll lose some from your fat mass. You'll lose some from your lean, healthy body mass. You'll also lose some water weight. But when weight was lost this quickly, I mean, this is 25 pounds, over 25 pounds in 10 weeks, the concern is definitely there that you're losing some healthy, lean muscle mass. Fortunately, just about all of the weight that was lost in these individuals was fat weight. So they lost fat weight. I get a little emotional. I'm Italian, so I get a little emotional. So if I mean this sincerely. Charlene transformed herself, and not just outside, as you see right here, but literally from the inside, Charlene transformed herself. And why I love this picture, why this has so much meaning to me, is because Charlene sent this to me the day that she hit the 50-pound weight loss point in her journey to optimal health. So she was so excited. Yeah. This was before the 10 weeks had occurred. She sent me that photo, and boy, was that touching. So we have a heartfelt, tear-hugged, moment every time we see each other. And why this is also important is because 17% as a scientist on paper translates into a powerful transformation in real life. I have the latest and greatest laboratory equipment, and so I have an iDEXA, for those of you that are familiar with it. And what we can do with that machine is specifically hone in on that visceral adipose tissue. That really is fat that we have in our bodies that's not supposed to be there. It's around those vital organs. And it's highly associated, as many of you know, with cardiometabolic disease, diabetes, cancer, inflammation. Guess what? My group of 43 men and women lost 33% of their visceral adipose tissue. And it was massive overall, but it was massive in just their belly region. Now here's something even more exciting that I think you'll really enjoy. They accomplished this without exercise. And I know, I put a lockdown, myself and my research team, we put a lockdown on any exercise that these people could do. And why is that important? Well, it's important because we didn't want to have the confounding influence of anyone doing exercise or physical activity beyond what they were doing with just the isogenic system. So this is the isogenic system alone, without any interference of exercise. So, as I mentioned, the results so far are at the 6-month mark. And for this phase, instead of having everybody follow the isogenic system, we really I felt as a scientist, more compelled to compare it to another group. And so what I did was we split the group in half, and half followed the isogenic system for the 6 months, and the other half followed a heart-healthy diet for 6 months. And both of the diets were under the supervision of registered dietitians, so it was very, very well controlled. And then second, everyone was allowed to eat normally. In other words, we let them go out in the wild and live their lives. We're expecting some subtle differences, and the results were really impressive. And so first what we looked at was, how did these people eat living in the wild? How much and what did they eat? The isogenics group actually consumed slightly more food. compared to the heart-healthy group.
Let me stop there.
Yeah.
They ate more calories?
They ate more calories, the isogenics group.
That's a bad news.
Well, I said you want to eat a lot of food if your metabolism is high, right? Who doesn't want to eat more food? So they ate more food, and their protein intake was slightly higher. They were at 29% versus 25%.
So if they ate more food, did they gain more weight?
Do you want to know the answer?
Yes.
Yes, you do. No, actually the opposite happened. The isogenics group,
Woo!
despite eating more food, actually had a drop in their body weight. And as you can see here, so the isogenics group continued to decrease their body weight, and the heart-healthy group had a slight rebound, but even that was more modest than what was expected. And believe it or not, the same thing happened with their waist circumference, a measure of their visceral adipose tissue. So as you can see here, isogenics continued to decrease. Very interesting. So despite losing all this weight, again, they continued losing this weight. We were concerned about the healthy lean muscle mass. The isogenics group actually, during the 6-month follow-up, gained 5 pounds of muscle.
Wow.
And the heart-healthy group gained about 1. So 2 favorable responses, just that the isogenics had a much greater response. And then for body fat, the other one we were interested in, the isogenics group again continued to lose their body fat. They lost another 4 pounds of body fat.
Wow.
Heart-healthy group lost about 1 pound. So monumental study. Absolutely.